Should we restart over?
Please.
Yeah.
That was my bad.
Did you not?
Yeah.
Okay, start over.
I was keeping it rolling. My bad.
Okay, go.
Yeah.
Okay, the best way to start the story, again, is to explain how my friendship was with my friend Bethany and I. And this was in freshman year. She lived the fast lane. She liked to do drugs, have sex all the time, do whatever alcohol she wanted. And I did not judge her for that, because all I needed to know was that I can depend on her, I can trust her, she will have my back for anything. One person that did judge her was my mom, and she told me that I could not hang out with her. Told her she was wrong. I was like, I was not going to let someone tell me who I can be friends with until I can deem them not worthy in my eyes. So I get a text message one day, and she's telling me to come outside. It's like 11 o'clock. So I get ready, go outside, and I get in the car, and then she's in the driver's seat, and her 21-year-old sister's in the passenger seat. They're welcoming, yelling my name, and trying to get me to smoke weed already. And I was like, no, because that wasn't my thing. That was all them, but not me. So we're driving to their friend's house, and I can only think, like, I wonder what they did this time to sneak out, because their parents, that was their law, that they could not hang out with me at all, because my parents and their parents bumped heads, and so they had to abide by that rule. But they lived a second life with their parents anyway, so they snuck out whenever they wanted. So we get to there, and Bethany's explaining that her crush is there, and Lord knows what they're gonna do. So we all part ways, but we're all at the same house. I'm hanging out with random people, and this goes on for a good few hours. It's like 3 a.m., Bethany rushes back in the house, and she tells me, Nathan, we gotta go, we're going, I'm ready to go. I was like, okay, that's fine. I was like, why though? You look upset. And then like we're walking to the front door, I'm opening it, and like I can see it starts raining and everything. And then I said, why, what's wrong? And then she's like, you'll see it when you see it. And then the car is rocking back and forth. I was like, wait, who's in the car? And then she tells me, it's my sister and my crush. And I was like, ooh, enough said, I can see what's the problem. And then we're like waiting for this car to stop rocking back and forth. And then they finally hop out, they're cleaning themselves, and I was like, God. And then Bethany runs to the driver's seat, slams the door, and I'm like walking to the back seat where I originally seated. And I'm like thinking, there better not be a mess, there better not be a smell, I better not see anything. And then Bethany yells at me, sit in the passenger seat with me, because she didn't want to sit with her sister again. And I was like, okay, thank God. And so I get there, we're waiting for her sister to get in the car, and as soon as she gets in, we're driving off, and they're already in an argument. I was like, okay, well, this is good, because they need to vent anyways. This is bound to happen. They're talking, and then I noticed as it's pouring down raining, and I noticed when she was yelling, her speed increased with the car. And like, I'm like waiting to see the next speed limit sign, because I wanted to know how fast she was going, and it's not overboard. And I see it's like a 45, I'm like, okay. Look, and she's already going 80, 85. And I was like, okay, this needs to quit. So I intervened, and I'm like, hey, you need to slow the hell down, because you're gonna piss me off. And she blows me off, continues their argument. I was like, listen, I'm starting to bang things. Listen, I need you to slow the hell down, because I'm not gonna be friends with you if you put my life in danger, because I will now know that you are a threat to my life. And then she turns to me and says, Nathan, trust me, I will never let anything happen to you. She's staring at me the whole time she's driving. And then she finally puts her eyes back on the road. That's when we begin to hydroplane. It's a 4-lane road, 2 lanes go in the opposite direction, oncoming cars. And like we're hydroplaning, we hit a car that in the back of one car, we hit the front side of the other car, and then a ditch comes, and I'm like, we're gonna die. There's a ditch, we're gonna flip over, I'm gonna die. And then finally, for some reason, we just hop over this ditch like it was nothing. We didn't flip or anything. And then we slam into a parked car, slam into a parallel park with that car. And I'm like, I can't breathe, there's like dust everywhere. I'm like, what's going on? And then family that we just hit, the parked cars, Mexican family just floods out, helping us. Cars that we hit from this come onto the scene, and they're like calling the cops and everything. And I'm like, oh my God. And then cops came, Bethany had to call her parents. before Bethany's parents come, she rushes me over to the Mexican family thinking I would blend in. I'm not supposed to be there. I'm not supposed to be there. So she has me stand over there. And then like when her parents come, I notice that like as soon as they lock eyes with me, it's going down. Like I already know. And her mom's like a little Mexican lady with full of rage. And her stepdad's like a white guy that I feel like reminds me of someone that grew up in the back of the woods in the South before they abolished slavery. So as soon as they lock eyes with me, they run over to me. Their car's totaled, but they're concerned with me. They run over to me. Oh, I bet you were here with them, you little faggot, blah, 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 sitting here harassing me. I'm like looking to the side like, I'm not wasting my time. And then finally, they're like going off. And then the Mexican family behind me finally says something like, hey, are they prejudiced against gay people? And then like they finally like, for some reason that wards them off. I don't know why, but that wards them off like, hey, let's go do something else. And so they go to their car. I'm calling my mom for a ride home. And then I tell her what's going on. She runs down there with her minivan, making street marks, and then she jumps out trying to look thug, arguing with their parents, and then the cops are trying to break them up. They're all arguing, and it was in that moment that I realized that I should have made an adult decision beforehand, because my life was really in danger, and I could have lost my life that day. And not only that, I should notice what an adult is just by noticing how they're like doing a petty argument over me. Thank you.